Hello guys, welcome to Rich Living Master YouTube channel where we create content to help you optimize three areas of your life: health, wealth, and relationships. This is Abhishek, founder and CEO of richlivingmastery.com. Now see, I'm very excited because this is going to be the first book review of this channel. So I thought, what better than to start off with one of the greatest books that has ever been written. Now, in a short while, you will know why this is the greatest book that has ever been written. Okay, this is none other than Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Okay, so basically, how this book came to be is what I'm going to cover now. So the name of the author is Napoleon Hill. So basically, what happened was at about 1908, he was on a project where he was interviewing the most successful people in America at the time. And as he was going through these interviews with these successful people, he met one person whose name was Andrew Carnegie. Now, Andrew Carnegie was the richest man at that time in America. And as he was interviewing Andrew Carnegie, he realized one thing, that Andrew Carnegie believed in a philosophy of success or a process of success. Napoleon Hill was fascinated by this, so he asked Andrew Carnegie about this process to explain him in deep. And Andrew Carnegie asked Napoleon Hill one simple question: are you ready to spend majority of your lifetime from now on to committing to getting this process out to people? And Napoleon Hill thought about it for a while, and he said yes. So then what he did was he interviewed over 500 most powerful, most successful people in America and found that they all followed a similar principle as suggested by Andrew Carnegie. Now, the best part about this book is most people think these books are top motivational books or something like that, but this actually gives you a practical steps in order to get rich. Now, this is written for people who want to get rich, but in reality, you can use this for anything you want to be successful at. Now, before I go into what the process is, I'll tell you this. This is the greatest book ever written because it was first published in the year 1937. And still, if you go to Google and search top 10 business books, this book, in 9 out of 10 of those lists, this book will pop up there. Even now. At the time of this recording, it's 2019, and it is still one of the top 10 business books that you can read. And a lot of business people, a lot of millionaires and billionaires swear by the process mentioned in this book. Now, another thing that I found online while doing my research and while doing my reading of this book was that every single time you read and then start applying these formulas or this process and come back and read again, you will learn something new. Every single time you read, you learn something new. This is something that I've found a lot of people have experienced this. A lot of people told me they have experienced this, and I myself have experienced this. So this is my third reading of the book. I've read this book about 3 times, and every single time I've read this book, something or the other new point or some new philosophy or some new solution popped up to fix whatever issue I had at that time or whatever challenges that I had at that time. Now, coming to the processes, he broke down the whole process of Andrew Carnegie's success formula into 13 principles. So starting from desire, the next is faith, the next is auto-suggestion, specialized knowledge, imagination, organized planning, decision, persistence, power of the mastermind, the mystery of sex transmutation, the subconscious mind, the brain, and the sixth sense. Now, I'm going to talk about each of these points in a very, very short, let's say in a few sentences. So the first thing is desire. He says that desire is the starting point of all great achievements. Whatever the mankind has achieved till now, it is all because of someone's desire to do it. Whatever cool things that you have now, whatever cool technologies you have, was someone's imagination back in the day. Someone thought about it, someone wanted it to happen, someone put the effort into making it happen. And one more thing is that without desire, all the other 12 principles in this chapter is useless. You need to have desire, a burning desire. So next is faith. Having faith in yourself and faith in the process, which is very important. And next is auto suggestion. Auto suggestion teaches you how to build that faith in yourself, or the process that you're going through or that you're applying to become successful. The next is specialized knowledge. So for example, let's say you want to start giving out computer services to people, fixing computers. You need a specialized knowledge as to how to fix the computer. So that is specialized knowledge. The next is imagination. Now we have heard some of the greatest people speak about imagination, from Einstein to Buddha to even in ancient scripts. There are mentions of how imagination is important, why imagination is something that is very, very necessary in order to become successful. The next is organized planning. You can have everything in place, but if you don't plan it right, you're going to screw it up. So that way it's going to teach you how to exactly plan. The next is decision. If, let's say, you're under pressure, you have to take a decision. This teaches you how to take that decision, how to make a right decision. Now, persistence. Now, the thing about persistence is that you need to stay in the process of doing something long enough that even though you fail enough, you learn, you adapt, and still keep going. In that way, that is something which is very important. A lot of people speak about it, a lot of business people speak about it. So this is another most important chapter in this book. The next is the power of mastermind. This chapter speaks about why it is important to have a group of advisors who will advise you on what to do next, what next step to take, or what is the wisest thing that you can do next. And the next is the mystery of sex transmutation. It speaks about how sexual activities can make or break you as a person. A very important chapter. The next is the subconscious mind. It tells you about what subconscious mind is and how to train it in such a way that it works for you rather than you working for it. So the next is the brain. Again, similar to subconscious mind, how do you train your brain in order to be more effective in your skill or whatever you want to do. The next is the sixth sense. Here he speaks about how to build your sixth sense in such a way that your gut feeling will help you out. Now look, the thing about gut feeling is it gets better with time. People say, gut knows everything, gut feeling is great. I'll tell you one thing, gut feeling can be wrong a lot of times. So this teaches you how to exactly train your sixth sense in such a way that it brings you results, the right one, not the wrong ones. So that's it, guys. Those are the 13 principles. That is something that I covered in short, but I recommend you to read this book. If you were to ask me, Abhishek, what book could I read if I could read only one book for my entire life, and I want to lead a good life, this is the book that I would suggest. Very great, very simple to understand. It will take some time to this is not something that you can binge read. I know that if you start reading this book, you will have that urge to binge read, but you go chapter wise, slowly, one by one, and start applying each of those techniques in your actual life. See how what type of results you get. Come back to this book, read again, and start applying. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want me to review a book that you are interested in, leave the name of the book in the comments below and I'll check it out. I'll see what I can. Goodbye.